Hello YouTubers. Semi problem at the boiler. It's running right now. I just put a piece of wood in it. I only put one wood in it. It's run now for, it's on, I guess it's 10th hour since I loaded it last night. Kind of what I'm showing you here is I got I guess it's a wood distillate problem as opposed to a creosote problem. We'll go back. You can hear the fan going. I don't know, I guess you can hear that. The intake fan is back there. That area there is not insulated anymore. I took the insulation off of it because it didn't seem to make any difference. And there's the big box that was the overall that two layers of, I don't know what this stuff is, and on the sides and the front. I couldn't get around the one section. Anyhow, this thing, I'm running Cadillac wood right now. This is what I scraped off the doors inside, and it's just like tar, and it burns, and you can see it dribbling out of the thing because it was kind of a warm night last night. I didn't really use much wood. Like I said, I've been running. I'm on 10 hours now. I just put that one piece of cherry in there because I like to have cherry in there in the daytime when I'm outside. Burning snow white, no creosote in there. The creosote gets on this metal part, and I think it's transferring the heat in there, and I just don't know exactly how to, unless I revamp this whole door. But that's not the big problem. I can scrape that off, and it's just part of the stuff I do. But here's where the problem is. See the amount of wood distillate? Now you're not going to get drier wood than I'm running right there now. It smells like that liquid smoke that you buy at the stores. That's why I put that other pan in there. It overflows this one, but because of that you can't slide a tall pan out. And this one full, then I can dump a little bit out. Anyhow, that's more convenient. I'll dump that later. But that used to be uninsulated, never had the problem. Then I insulated it, and the problem didn't have that big of a problem. I put that drain on it with a one-way valve so it won't suck air in and draft. And that built up onto the baffle in the back, and that's what clogged me open last year. I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't normally clean it but once a year, but because of this mess I'm going to have to check it maybe monthly. It's just a matter of taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 bolts out of there, see what's going on. But the wood, you know, a lot of people are going to say, well, it's because you're burning green wood. Let me tell you guys, this wood here is the Cadillac wood. You're not going to get any drier than this. It is what the humidity is out. That was cut, that's oak, no bark, no sapwood, and it just straight, what do you call it, heartwood. And consequently, because of that, I haven't cleaned the boiler in, I guess it's been running now for at least 5 days. I haven't had to clean it out. Those ashes in there, or coals in there, will go down to nothing. Now it's gone to, it's off basically, and those coals will burn down to nothing. And it's cherry. It smells good. You need smell-o-video, because that really the cherry makes it smell nice around here. So if you're going to smell a little bit of smoke, that's what you're going to smell. But you're not going to get any drier wood than that. Okay, that's been cooking. It's just dry. I can't explain to it. Whatever the humidity is out, if the humidity goes up, then the moisture content in that wood will go up. So you're not going to get any drier than that. So I've been burning a little bit. I've been burning mostly that. Been taking out the Cadillac wood to see if that would take care of my problem. Then this wood, if you've seen a few videos, there, folks, light's getting it. If you've seen a few videos from last year, this is the same wood that was been in here for 2 years. This is just backup wood, and backup wood is what I stack in case the weather's so nasty I just don't feel like going out and getting any, or you know, you might get, like Buffalo, they got a lot of snow. You couldn't get in and out a boiler that easily with one of these. And this is wood here And some of that wood in the center is getting to the point where it's been here so many years. I know it's been here over 5 years in there. And I've been taking a little bit off the top of that because I know that's super dry also. Hadn't changed a thing. I could put green wood in there, wet wood in there, and it doesn't change the amount of, I don't know if that's creosote or what they call wood distillate. Anyhow, that's just kind of a boiler update. Oh, I guess while we're here, we'll walk out into the, that leak seems to be stopped. You can see I got a little pan there. I'll go out and check, see how the greenhouse is doing. I'm going to change the greenhouse around. I don't plant much in the greenhouse. Somebody asked if I use the greenhouse anymore. Since the deer took over, we use it to pot a few flowers and stuff in the springtime, and that's about it anymore. 5 years ago, the deer didn't bother anything. Then they started bothering, well, they got into the pumpkin patches. And after they got into the pumpkin patches, then they got into cantaloupes, and they got into tomatoes. They never ate tomatoes, and then they got into tomatoes and couldn't get them out. The corn was knocked out years ago. Now I still have a leak there. I don't know if you can see in that pan, there's probably a teaspoonful of water or antifreeze in there. And I tied that string in there. I think I'm gonna make it a little bit, pull that out a little bit further. These pipes go in and out about 6 inches when it heats up, so that's just kind of an idea. So anyhow, what I was going to do in here is my thermostat. I got to undo the radio so they don't get mad at me. Thermostat's up here. Okay. So what I'm thinking about doing is I have another thermostat because I keep backup. Take this, leave that one there, and just run a wire down to here and put a thermostat here because this stays warm for a long time when it gets heat. And that is all I'm worried about is even though I got antifreeze in it, I kind of like to keep it going a little bit. This is the dump zone, so if the boiler overheats, it comes to here. Now another thing I did is I dropped the temperature 10 degrees in the boiler. I don't know if that's good or bad or what it is. It just is. So man, it smells nice out here. It smells like a cherry pipe. Maybe I need to start smoking a pipe, guys. Anyhow, that's about it. I just thought I'd show you the creosote. It's not because it's wet wood. It's not because it's insulated or not insulated. And you can see the inside of the burn box is burning snow white. And now you should be able, well, even with that new wood in there, you really don't see any smoke in there. You can see some heat waves coming out there. There's a little bit of smoke coming out there, but very little. And it's not even running now, so it's not getting any oxygen. It's just in idle. Now I can hear the house pump calling right now. And she's running about well, you can see it up there, 180, 246. It shuts off. I turn it down. I used to have it cut off at 190. Now I have it cutting off around 78, 79. So afterwards, those coals are still in there red hot, so they're still heating. So she's going out right now at it's coming down a little bit. This pump is running in the house, which hits 3 coils, and it's coming back at 120, but I still think it's cold from in the ground. It's because it's still coming down. Once that hot water makes its final loop, and then it'll be all right. So it takes out about 15 degrees per coil. And I'm heating the garage right now too. Don't know why. I turned it on because I was working on the refrigerator. That's why I turned it on. I just haven't turned it off since. So anyhow, that's about it. I got a few holes drilled in here. I got some, my little granddaughter's coming over, so I got babysitting detail today, so I don't know how much I'll get done. That's just the way it is. She's a pretty good little kid. Run me out of energy. I've got the holes drilled in this, so I need to come up and pick this thing up, and in fact, I think that's what I'll do now is I'll go get some bolts for this thing here. I have bolts for the wagon that I showed you the other day. That's what these bolts are for, but those are 14 inches that have to go through that beam, and then a 4x4. That's kind of dusty under there, isn't it? So I need to go get some shorter bolts and machine them to the right length and cut them off. So I guess that's what I'll do now. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if I had a ruler here, I'd measure them, but I don't seem to have a ruler. I got one of these things. Oh, let's see. It needs to be longer than that. Needs to be longer than that. Let's see. 10 inches probably. That'd bring it up to there. 10 inches would be fine. So I got to go get some bolts and make them 10 inches and lift that thing up and run them through. The ones I got in there, they're way too long. They're sitting down. So basically I'm gonna take them back out. I would cut them off, except for those are just so I could see how it would do. Those are all threads. Those are these bolts here, and I'm sure that they're over or all threads. Air compressor's running. They're 14 inch, so I'm gonna go down to the pots department and get some shorter ones and pick this up. But like I said, I'm tied up in that. Oh, I did get the leaves all done yesterday in this area. I still have leaves to do behind that. I don't know if you can see that green shed. And then I'm done with leaves up in this area, unless I rake out the dog pen a little bit more, which I kind of not sure that I'll do that. Then I have, you can see that tree there that's broke off, and lots of things on the list. And then every time the leaf vac yesterday, let me tell you how yesterday went. I got the wood for the gentleman, and that was good, and he helped out in doing the video. But then I got on the leaf vac. I fixed the hose on the leaf vac, so I put the special made clamps on there that are interesting, and I came up here and started vacuuming, and the hose came off. This is the new hose I put on. I don't try to over tighten things. Okay, so I knew I thought it was snug enough to hold that hose on, because it's a vacuum. I just figured instead of it coming off, it would want to have a tendency to go back in. But anyhow, I got that and it came off. So I put it back on, and it came off again. So I put it back on and snugged it down a little bit tighter, and the hose clamp broke. So then I had to come up here and weld the hose clamp. And if you saw how the hose clamp is, it's offset hose clamp, because those hoses have like screw threads on them. So I drilled them out. That's what this is, where I drilled them out and welded them. Welded back together, because you can do that. If I was down there, I'd show you what that hose clamp looks like. It's a special hose clamp for vacuum hoses. Anyhow, well, then I go to use the welder, and the welder wouldn't work. It stopped working. I had to get in and do repairs on it. I lost connection at the plug. So it's just one thing after another here keeps me from working on my sawmill. So one of these days, and I got to saw a pumpkin too. So it's probably frozen up there, which the sawmill don't care. Anyhow, that's where I'm at. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and I think I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I'm waiting for a little kid to come over, and then I'm tied up for several hours. So I'm just kind of mousing around now. If you know what mousing around means, you're into this and into that and into this and into that. Oh, that was another thing, the honeydew list. Can you hear the blue jays up there? We brought a couple of the bird feeders out. There's blue jays sitting on the top pile. The bluebirds are in that, it's a purple berry bush. I think it's called a beauty bush. And we trim that thing way back every year, and it grows up, and it's just covered with these purple berries. Just covered, and the birds love them. So as I find these trees or bushes in the woods, I let them be. Got peanuts out here. It was a I made this peanut feeder for the woodpeckers, and they love it. They love it. And then I got some suet out. I have a big bird feeder that goes in over there once it really gets cold. This was pear wood, and that was real pretty when I first made it, but it's given up the ghost. That thing's probably, I'm guessing, at least 25 years, maybe 30 years old. Anyhow, that's it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.